What's cracking, y'all? Um, this morning, or this Saturday morning, I want to give a shout out to every Olympian, not just the USA team, but everybody. Jamaica, France, Germany, Croatia, wherever, Africa, wherever parts of the world anyone is from who participates in the Olympics, no matter what event it is, salute. Even anybody in gymnastics, ice skating, X Games, all of that. Now, some people were upset, or they took issue to Mr. Noah Lyles, arguably the fastest man in the world right now, and he's from the USA. They're upset at him for saying guys who play in the NFL or NBA, they call themselves world champions, but they're not really world champions. They're champions of that organization, that league that they're in, but they're not playing against the world, so they're not technically world champions. He's right. He is absolutely right. They're not playing against the world. They're playing against the players. They're playing against the best in the country, not so much the best in the world. Even though there's athletes from all over the world who are playing in these leagues now, and arguably you can say these leagues that are based in this country, even though you can say that it's not playing against the world, you can also say that these are the best in the world. We still have the best athletes in the world play for the NBA, NFL, and all, and whatever other sport there is. But Noah Lyles did help bring awareness to that, and it makes you, if you're a realist, it makes you feel the need to put a little more respect on the name of all of the Olympians, people who actually do compete against the world. And I think people are taking it a little too personal. We understand we have the best athletes in the world. Anytime USA is going against any other country in the Olympics, we're not going to win every event, but most of the time USA will win the most medals. And we will win most of the events. Except if it's like, long distance running. You have Africa or somewhere in Europe. Africa or Europe kind of usually wins that one. But if it comes to sprinting, long jump, high jump, swimming most of the time, gymnastics, we pretty much dominate. But salute to a lot of the athletes like Noah Lyles, Sha'Carri Richardson, Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams, of course. We have some, I forgot the swimmer's name, but we have some fast swimmers for the USA. All our basketball teams, the USA teams. Salute to them, because they are the ones who are the world champs. They are the world champions. Not just the USA champions, the US champions, which that's probably the technical term to use, or that's probably what we should call it when someone a team in the NFL wins, the US champs. They should be called the US champions, I guess. NBA. If you win the NBA championship, you should just be the NBA champs, right? Or the US champs for the most part. But world champs, that goes to the USA team. no matter what sport it is. USA, everybody that competes in any sport or event in the Olympics for USA, those are the ones, if they win, not only are they winning the gold medal, but they're winning a world championship. It's really a world championship, so I don't have a problem with Noah Lyles saying that. He's a world champ. Not only is he a world champ, but he's the fastest man in the world. So right now, you got to put respect on his name. And any media head or any sports broadcaster or commentator that's taking issue with that, they're the ones that have the issues within themselves, because they're kind of like trying to gloss over the truth of what he was talking about. So Noah Lyles is just helping people to put a little bit more respect on the names of all of the people who compete against the world. It's one thing to compete against the best in your country, but when you're competing against the best in the world, that's a different level of competition. That's a different level of anxiety and stress to deal with when you're dealing with other people's countries, when you're going to other people's countries or other countries to compete against these other people, and you're dealing with different people's politics. You could be dealing with racism. You could be dealing with a whole lot of stuff like that. At least in this country, if you're playing for a professional team, you're going to deal with some hecklers, fans. You're going to deal with some racist people within a certain city or state. But overall, when you're in a whole totally different country and people just have their stereotypes about you based on what they've seen on TV and your country, you might deal with something more dangerous. It might be a little more risky. USA people are putting their life on the line. But anyway, salute to Noah Lyles, and salute to all the U.S. athletes who have been keeping us on the map and making us look good. Even when there's so much corruption in this country, everybody that's representing the USA, which are mostly minorities, we're the ones that's making USA look good. We're probably the reason minorities, especially blacks, are probably the main reason why this country have not already been nuked or bombed or destroyed already. Because we got certain people that are here in this country who are representing it in the best way possible, and who are making other people admire the athletes and the talent and the gifts that are here still in the United States. It don't have nothing to do with no Europeans. It has everything to do with the people who are probably still oppressed in captivity in some kind of way, and haven't really gotten their full independence and their full freedom. Those are the ones that are still sacrificing and helping this corrupt country look good. So, through all this corruption and all this mess that y'all know is filled up in this country, at least put a little respect on these athletes who are sacrificing themselves and who are representing y'all. So while y'all are treating these great athletes like crap in their own country, and they still got to deal with racism and discrimination and politics and all that crap, people are looking at them like gods in other countries. So when they go to these other countries, people are like damn near ready to bow down to them, get on their knees because of how talented and how great they are. But when we come back to this country after serving our country, whether it's, no matter what sport it is or what organization, or even if it's military, we come back here and we're treated like nothing. So put a little more respect on these Olympians, these athletes who make sacrifices and who are representing the United States. So while there's a whole lot of corruption, scams, lies, racism, and propaganda going on around us here, when our U.S. people are out there representing us here, They're representing us in a more positive light. It's making the U.S. look like, wow, look at these athletes. It must be an amazing country there. It must be in the water. But y'all gonna have to start putting a little more respect on everybody. You know, if you're if anybody's in the NBA or NFL and they got an issue with Noah Lyles saying what he said, you know, you gotta check yourself, because there was nothing wrong with what he said. He's speaking the facts. He's in his lane. He's in the world lane. You guys are in a professional sports of America lane. But he's in the professional sports of the world. He's in the world games. So stay in y'all's lane. We are, if we're not Olympians and we're not even playing for the world, and some of us, I have to stay in my lane as a person, because I played football, but I never played professional. So I have to stay in my lane and make sure that I'm not speaking as if I'm just better or I can do better than some of our professional athletes in this country. But our professional athletes in this country have to stay in their lane and realize that the things that the world Olympians are doing, these professional athletes in this country cannot do and are not doing. So I'm not going to hate on the Olympians, and I'm not going to hate on Noah Lyles for what he said when it was facts. It was straight up facts. The only thing is, only response anyone can say to that is, well, hey, we still got the best athletes in the world. You can put us up against the world, and we still gonna win. So it's the same point. But salute to everybody that has sacrificed for this country, and salute to all of the Olympians and athletes, because if it wasn't for U.S. Olympians, this country probably would have already been destroyed.